BTB listeners, thank you so much for checking out today's episode. Listen, if this episode inspires you, do me a favor, take 5 seconds to shoot me a like and subscribe to the podcast. There are several more exciting guests that are in the pipeline, and I just can't thank you enough for your continued support, and let's keep paying the mission forward. In today's BTB short, I'm going to be sharing a talk that I had with one of my former tennis clients at a coffee shop a little over 15 months ago. At that time, I was laid off from a job that I had been looking for ever since I decided to step away from full-time tennis coaching. This conversation outlines the emotional roller coaster of going through numerous job interviews, facing rejections, and the precarious hope pinned on job offers that ultimately fell through. Despite this frustrating process that I experienced and the financial implications of unemployment and how it affected my family, it was important to understand that I was staying true to my purpose. I was leveraging quiet moments for self-encouragement and pushing beyond any perceived limitations that I put on myself. Ultimately, what happened to me 15 months ago is what ignited the BTB project. I had thought about doing a podcast for 13 years, and it was a situation where I went into work one day and I was asked to give my laptop, and that would be my last day. Ignited me to push further, to push harder, and to tap into the teachings that I've given clients over 20 years on how to become the strongest version of themselves. I hope you guys are impacted and encouraged by this message, and I appreciate you checking it out. Let's do this.
Don't be afraid of the dark. Be careful with stars. Not every light is gonna guide you.
Welcome to the BTB Project, designed to empower listeners to identify their why and to live their best lives no matter the circumstances. My name is Coleman Gerhardt, a former athlete and motivational coach. I've had the opportunity to inspire thousands through my story and help accomplish what they are built to be. You'll be encouraged by each and every episode, and let's get into it.
Yeah, when I blow up, I'ma soar high like Peter Pan. In real life, be living out my dreams. If I'm waking up, it's in a foreign land.
What I've experienced over the last month and a half, bro, when it comes to finding the next step career-wise and removing some of the resentment I had of being laid off, dude, I've had so many moments of what you just mentioned, of stillness and being by myself. And like, I go from working, 45, 50-hour weeks to nothing. And then it's pivoting to try to find new jobs. I'll share the story of where I'm at, and then I'll share some advice on what to do in those moments of when you're on your own, and maybe take some of those moments of where you've had success of encouraging others to where you can encourage yourself in the quietest of moments, right? So get this, I had probably 36 interviews in a month and a half. And it's just like this frantic chaos of finding an opportunity to filing for unemployment, which is a disaster, by the way. 12-week backlog. So fortunately, I'm coming from a situation to where I have some savings, I have a fallback, but there's people that lose their jobs all the time that don't have anything. And then it takes them 12 weeks to receive unemployment after they file. So it's, hey, while you're filing for unemployment, that's going to remind you that you're unemployed. Oh, by the way, it's going to take 12 weeks for you to actually get the money that you're filing for. Congratulations. And it's not that much money. It's disgusting. But that's a whole other conversation. Of all of these opportunities, I have yet to find one that truly, well, I found two that kind of was more, I call it a fridge, meaning from what I lost to where I would go, I'm not losing much traction financially. I get an offer for a position that is based out of PA,
that needs a remote worker in Denver that's part of medical technology. Had a verbal offer, and then they sent me an email confirming the offer, but I was waiting for the written offer. You with me? So I had that, and then I'm in the final interview process for another opportunity, and I knew that I was supposed to start the opportunity that I had the offer for well before they were going to make a decision on the other opportunity. So I made the decision to tell the other opportunity because I was in my third or fourth interview. And hey, I just want to let you know I have another offer. It's time sensitive. The one that I really wanted was the one that I was still in the interview process for. So I tell him that. And the HR director says, hey, no problem. Thank you for letting us know. I'm going to talk to the hiring manager and we'll get back to you. Talks to the hiring manager and says, because you told us that you had another opportunity, we've decided to go with another candidate. And it's fascinating because the whole time in the interview process, HR is telling me, if anything comes up, I know you're actively searching. If anything comes up, tell us. So, sleight of hand, per se. So I'm like, that's all right, all good. I have this other opportunity. That one stung, but I still have this other opportunity. I'm going to accept it. Waiting for the offer, still didn't get it. Have another call with them, with the one where I have a verbal and email offer. And they're like, we actually decided because of our most recent numbers, because they're private equity funded, that they weren't going to fill the position. And they asked me to apply for another position that was more national based, that was 85% travel. But we were so interested in you, if you applied for this job, you're going to get it. So I talked to my wife about it. I'm like, all right, then here's the deal. I'm going to have to be on the road for a little while, earn my stripes. Financially, it makes sense. Not being around you guys doesn't, but I'm just telling you right now that I'm going to apply for it, see where it goes. End up getting it. Have my final interview with the CEO of the company. He's all right, everything checks out. You'll see the offer in your email box within the hour. Hour goes by, 2 hours goes by, 3 hours goes by, a day goes by, it's nothing. So I end up calling the recruiter who had been in touch with me throughout the process. And I have no idea what's going on. Let me talk to the CEO. I'm like, okay. And she's, yeah, actually, we've decided to freeze call hiring until the middle of 2023. So the whole time those two scenarios are playing out, I'm still actively interviewing for other jobs. And I keep interviewing for jobs that just aren't going to cut it financially, but that 3-month window that I have of financial cushion to where it's at some point I'm going to have to do something. So that I have to do something job came up, which is what I'm doing now. I've been working actively for 5 weeks as an account manager for a hospital here in town, and it is account management, it's not sales. So I'm just maintaining a relationship rather than trying to bring in new business. Totally different than what I'm used to, but I can maintain a relationship. I know how to do that. So I take a substantial pay cut, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to take this. I'm going to keep interviewing until I can find the right thing. Well, 2 weeks into it, another opportunity that I interviewed for gives me an offer. It's a IT security company and a data analytics company out of Australia. And they have an office in Colorado. So they're looking for someone to fill business in Colorado. So here I am working, get this other offer. Hiring manager says, hey, offer's coming your way. I'll see your email tomorrow. Nothing in my email. And she calls me. She's calling, oh my gosh, I am so sorry, but you actually need to have another couple of interviews. Our new CEO wants to meet with you. He's only been a month into the role, but wants to talk to you. And we also have decided that we're going to have an international VP interview you as well. So I went from a verbal offer to, hey, it's going to be sent to you, to actually, just kidding, you still have to interview while working a job, while still actively interviewing, of which I'm in the final stages of another opportunity. So I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll do what I need to do. Talk to the CEO. CEO is absolutely great. Question everything on my resume, challenge the hell out of me. At the end of the hour-and-a-half interview, he was like, I've interviewed tens of thousands of people, and this by far was one of the most impressive interviews I've ever been a part of. And I'm like, wow, awesome. So he gives me high credential. Then I go to the next interview, which is a Zoom interview with a guy based in the United Kingdom. So this guy basically grills me even harder than the CEO, questioning why I want the job, saying my background, like I've had so many different jobs, eating away at like all of my insecurities that I feel about making this transition from being a tennis guy to the corporate guy was uncovered. So the first 7 minutes of the interview, this guy's just grilling me. And then he asked me what my purpose is. What's your purpose? And I highly advise you to be able to figure out how to answer that question. And that ties into when you're by yourself, when you have a clearly defined purpose, those moments of when you're alone and you have all those voices in your head, your purpose always outweighs whatever you're feeling, right? So I told him what my purpose was. You know what my purpose is. And the guy on the call was like, stop talking. This interview's over. That's what he said to me. He said, it's done. This interview's over. I don't want you to say another word. And this guy came from Xerox, one of the highest level Xerox guys, the copy company, okay? Like, he has interviewed 10 times more people than the CEO has interviewed, international. And he's like, I had this interview slated for an hour and a half, and I know it's only been 17 minutes, but I don't need to hear any more from you. It's my responsibility right now to go talk to the CEO, to go talk to the hiring manager, to go talk to a recruiter, and make sure that we get an offer in your hand as soon as possible. I was speechless. So I accept the offer, obviously. I start on Monday, but I'm still working another job. I work that job all the way up until me being 5 minutes late to sitting down with you right now. The story's not done yet. So that other opportunity that I was actively interviewing for, then I get to the final stages, asked me early last week if I would be comfortable driving up to Cheyenne, Wyoming to do my final interview with them. I didn't have any sick days that I could take with my new job because I hadn't been there long enough. So I was like, all right, I'll figure it out. Sure. So I had 5.5 hours of Zoom meetings for my current job, drove to Cheyenne, Wyoming while taking those Zoom calls, down and back, interviewed for my final interview, and drove back while having now an official offer from this analytics company while working another job. But this one's really interesting because it is about the analytics company's a pay decrease, but not as much as what I've taken thus far. It's a little bit better. But this one that I'm talking about is like another bridge, right? I go up and interview, fantastic, spoke very highly of me. So they come back to me and they're like, yeah, we can tell you that we're going to have the decision made. We have one more interview, but we're going to have the decision made by Tuesday of next week. So the rule of thumb with any job is you're supposed to give 2 weeks notice. Please take my advice. I think it's bullshit. I really do. because all of the like doing the right thing, especially in this particular situation where I'm so new to something, like if I was with a company for 5 or 6 years, that'd be a different story. But you got to take care of yourself. Okay. So the whole purpose of this story is I have a job. I'm supposed to start a new job on Monday, but on Tuesday I could have an offer for a job that really makes the most sense. So what do you do? I'll tell you what you do. You're rooted in your purpose. My purpose is I would do anything for my family. My purpose is I am called because of the X, Y, and Z's of how I was raised and what I went through to give back in a different way that's uncanny. Guys, to pay forward those moments of when it was hard and I was by myself and I had to sit in that moment to be able to understand that I'm comfortable in me. That God's going to protect me because I had nothing else. Nothing. So when it goes to you struggling with that quiet place, it's not because you don't have the support mechanism. It's because that Goggins mentality of you're at your 40%, you're trying to push past it. You got to push past that mentally. I'm sorry, man, but if you're deemed as someone that is a physical prowess in your current role and people are admiring you for that, it's because you figured out how to overcome the physical challenges with your mind. Why in the hell does that not associate as well with those insecurities and self-doubt when you're still and you're not moving your body, when you're sitting in your stats? You have the same powerful mind to overcome that as well. The mind overcomes the body. The body will tell you 9 times out of 10, this is the craziest thing. The brain is designed for 2 things. It's designed to keep you alive, and it's designed to duplicate being able to have a child and for your child to have a child and to live that long, and that's it. Everything else, we program in. We have to train our mind to not let negative self-thought and self-sabotage dictate how we live our life. You, I believe, your biggest challenge is not getting into the Citadel. It's not graduating from high school. It's not any of that. It's recognizing when your deepest, darkest secrets, thoughts, and insecurities are so embedded that the neural pathways for you to create new pathways are hindered by that.
That conversation I had a little over 15 months ago was something that propelled me into the situation that I'm in today. Starting a podcast, trying to take some of these negative, dark, hard situations and turning it into a positive and trying to help you as a listener. I know that there's a lot of people out there right now that are facing similar struggles. And my advice to you is no different than what I told my tennis client. Is you have to be able to find the silver lining no matter any situation you're facing in your life. Things like gratitude, things like being able to see the bigger picture, even though that there are seasons of life that aren't going to play out in your favor. There's always going to be light at the end of the tunnel. And maintaining that optimism and maintaining that encouragement, and that is key for you to accomplish anything that you want to do in your life. For those of you who are struggling with finding a job or job loss or being laid off, I encourage you to look around and to be grateful for what you have right in front of you. Your opportunity is going to come. Keep your head down. Stay focused, stay encouraged, keep moving, and you can accomplish anything you put your mind to. Listen, if this BTB short about job loss and navigating multiple interviews and trying to figure out the next step in your life. If it encouraged you, do me a favor, like and subscribe to the BTB Project. Better yet, send this message to a family member, friend, or colleague and tell them why the episode impacted you. It's this BTB community where we help one another that truly fosters growth and allows us to do each and every move that we make in community as one. As always, I'm proud of each and every one of you. And until next time, take care.